guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at a new filming spot location because guess what? We have something kind of newish from Volkswagen. It's this vehicle right here. This is the updated, changed up, refreshed 2025 Volkswagen Jetta GLI. But before we get into this Autobahn trim of the GLI, let's talk about what's going on here. So Volkswagen is making some moves. They've moved really hardcore towards electrification, but now they're reeling it back in a little bit and gonna focus on the internal combustion engine stuff. They have a new redesigned Tiguan coming out, and for 2025, the Jetta is getting some changes, especially the GLI. Now what's interesting is that this GLI trim is all about performance in the compact sedan. And it's funny because a lot of the competition has moved on from compact sedans. But one vehicle that's actually got a redesign, it's actually an all new vehicle, is that Kia K4 GT line with the turbo. So what I want to find out is, has Volkswagen made the right changes to the Jetta? And is this the better compact sports sedan to get over the K4 GT line? Let's go ahead. Let's see if we don't get blown away by Mother Nature, but let's go ahead, jump into our Autobahn GLI Jetta and find out. Right off the bat, you're gonna see a new color. Really digging this bluish gray. Kind of says, hey, I have something new to show you. And I actually do. At the front of the business, this is all new. We have refreshed lighting, LED daytime running lamp, turn signal, and LED headlights. We got a totally refreshed front bumper area. A nice functional air curtain, some of that red trim because this is a GLI, and then the rest of it is all that body color. But I think the way that they tweaked this GLI really has some big advantages to it. Now, as we come across that front grille area, they enlarged the upper grille. It's fully functional with your LED lighting that illuminates, Volkswagen badge, and GLI, Grand Luxury Injected. Kind of interesting why they call it that. But what's also interesting is that for 2025, this is the only trim of the GLI. It's the top Autobahn trim. And I think it's smart to do it that way because what they're gonna do is they're gonna offer you for 2025 more features on the Autobahn without going crazy on the price. Now, as you work your way down, we have that flat black grille area, fully functional. And I like the way the red trim flows along the lip, the lower lip. I feel like with the GLI, it really has that more kind of old school compact sports sedan look to it, whereas the K4 GT line looks a little bit like a futuristic science experiment that maybe went wrong and is now here to kill us. That's just my take on it. Now, as we rise up, you're getting a little bit of a bulge, so you don't need to put as many socks in your pants to get the bulge going on. And then as we come around the bend, this does have the black package, which I'm going to tell you what that includes. First of all, you're going to get these V-spoke gloss black wheels. Love the design. Simple, sporty, 18-inch wheel. We have our red calipers painted. And then you do get adaptive dampers all four corners on this vehicle. It is front-wheel drive, and you do have a limited slip diff, which is nice, something that you don't get on the K4 GT line. And like I said, this look says more sport compact sedan rather than the K4. No flat black, no gloss black, just all body color. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of the tires? You're looking at 225 on the width, 45 series sidewall. And like I said, the car is specifically front-wheel drive. You can never get a Jetta GLI with all-wheel drive. That never happened. Now, as we come down the side, they moved the GLI badge. I like the simple placement, the bright red. We have black on our mirror caps with our turn signals. And then the other part of the black package is not just the wheels, but the roof. They paint the whole roof black. You do have a panoramic sunroof, which is nice, or I should say a standard size sunroof, but nice to have that all painted black. I think it was smart to keep it flat black around the window frame openings and flat black along the side skirt extension. But the Jetta lines are very crisp. Even the way the quarter window, this is one area where the K4 got it wrong. The K4 kind of just ends like that. This has that nice flow that comes into our rear quarter panel. And then as we come around the back, just like up front, they redid the taillights. All LED, no Thomas Edison light bulbs. You got the GLI badge in the trim here, like the simple, clean look. They even remolded the trunk a little bit to give it a little bit of a kick up. I wish I had a trunklet spoiler on top of it, but it does have a little bit of a kick up that was restyled for 2025. And then coming down to ground level, I love the nice stainless steel tips, oval outlet slash cut. What I don't love is this fake honeycomb vent on the bottom. So we're gonna zonk that, but the exhaust functional on both sides. To me, this is the better looking sedan over the K4, but let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Let's go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower of this GLI. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. Both the K4 and the Jetta GLI have prop rods, but it's underneath the engine compartment. Underneath the hood in that engine compartment, we're gonna see the tried and true. This has a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine compared to the K4 GT line, which has a 1.6-liter turbocharged inline-4. So we have 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. The best news is you could either get a 6-speed manual or the 7-speed DSG, that dual clutch transmission. In the K4 GT line, there's just one transmission, and that's an automatic. 0 to 60 in this vehicle with the DSG is 5.8 seconds. Top speed is governed to 126 miles an hour. It weighs 3,597 pounds, and you get 26 MPGs in the city and 36 on the highway. So not too bad on the MPGs. And like I said, definitely has more power. Because if you look at the GT line, as I get blown away a little bit here, the K4 GT line has 190 horsepower. So this has more, and more is better, at least in this instant. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see it roll. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Autobahn Jetta GLI. I know what you're saying. You're saying, Joe, I'm so glad that they still make the Jetta GLI. I don't want to buy an SUV. I refuse. It'll be the last thing I do before I die is buy an SUV. So I'm glad that they have this. How much is it? Very good question. MSRP, they make it simple since this is the only trim of the GLI. MSRP is right at $35,000. Let's see what you get when you go GLI over the K4 GT line to the door panels. I love the clean style. You have that soft touch material up top. There is a little gloss black around the switchgear for your door locks, but that is it. And then you'll notice the light gray with the GLI red stitching. GLI red stitching on the soft armrest. No gloss black around the switchgear for your windows. And then the door pocket is a pretty good size for 4 bratwurst, extra sauerkraut, and relish. Now going from the door panel to the dash, a little bit of gloss black here, but I like the way they kind of integrated the AC vent. You do have the Dr. Dre Beats sound system, 400 watts of power, red GLI stitching, and then slide on in. This is your all new 8-inch infotainment system. Very simple, very intuitive. I like the way we have real knobs for your volume and for your audio controls. You could go into your different car readouts. We can go back to our menu. You got navigation, nice swipe features. Look how nice and smooth it is. And you have your different driving modes. Eco, comfort, sport, and even custom. You know how we're going to do it. We're going full sport, baby. Actually, before we move anywhere, I got to throw it into reverse. Backup camera. It does take up almost all 8 inches. It's not the clearest, but I have seen worse, like on the Honda Civic. And you have lines, but they don't actually move when you turn the steering wheel. So they give you some guidance, not everything that you need. And then you're right back to where we started. We could, boom, easy. Now working our way down, you do have heated seats and ventilated seats, 3 stages apiece. We got dual climate control, nice easy tap button area. Down below, let me get this out of the way, you do have your little area to charge your phone, wireless charging, 2 USB-Cs, a 12 volt, your start stop button, and then look at the way they continue the red stitching. Obviously, our car has the 7-speed DSG, that's a dual clutch transmission, or you could get the 6-speed manual still. 2 cup holders, a place for some Jolly Ranchers, and then of course there's your Volkswagen key fob. It is the older key fob, but I actually like it better than the new one. You do have remote start, soft touch. Open it up, what do we have? Ooh, look at what I left in here, my Valentine 2 radar detector system. We won't talk about that. And there's a USB-C in there. And then the seats, super soft material. The two-tone looks great. The stitching, you do have manual controls on the passenger side. I have full electric, which is nice. And then you have that little larger than standard size sunroof. That's gonna be very nice to let the vitamin D shine down on you from the sun. Remember, vitamin D is important for your normal daily functions. But why don't you go ahead, get your butt over here. I want to show you behind the wheel in this GLI. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have a nice aluminum sill plate. I am going to zonk it. I wish that it had the GLI name here. Pedal box is perfect in these Volkswagens. Nice large aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. You do have electric assist for the driver's side with 3 memory seat settings. Seats are comfy, supportive, and I got plenty of headroom. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall, even with the sunroof, plenty of headroom. Steering wheel, absolutely love it. The flat bottom, the 2 different types of leather. Where it goes wrong is right here. Because when you're driving, especially on your favorite twisty road, you're gonna hit the steering wheel heater and it's gonna make your hands sweat. So, kind of dumb placement, and I don't like the gloss black. You're gonna have to get your Volkswagen microfiber cloth, but you do have the GLI badge to remind you what trim you bought. And then of course we have the paddles to go up and down that 7-speed DSG. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. You have your headlight controls. Just put it right on auto real easy. And then you have that 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster, which actually changes depending on what mode you go in. There's normal, there's comfort. Obviously we're going sport, baby. And you could change up the views, which is kind of cool. Look at that. Keep it simple, keep it clean. Boom. I'm keeping it that way. No head-up display, but I'm all right with that. But let's get in the back seat and see if the Jetta outdoes the K4. All right, guys, back seat time. It is a little bit more cramped back here than the K4, but still plenty of headroom. I'm not even close to it. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. Now, there isn't any pocket behind the driver. So if you have your bratwurst and it's got all that German spicy mustard and the sauerkraut, you're gonna have to put it in between your legs, and that's gonna make you just get a mess all over you. So don't sit behind the driver if you still have your bratwurst. Here's another thing that makes me sad. What is this? Nothing. No AC vents, no USB-Cs, no freaking 12 volt, not even 2 cans of soup and a string. That's a zonk. I do have a pocket over here because you know I'm gonna be bringing at least 3 bratwursts for me. Seats are comfy. Nice soft center armrest with 2 cup holders, and I do like the way they actually add some bolstering to the rear seats to make them look like the front seats. That's the special touches that you don't get in a K4. But let's go ahead, let's get in the trunk because I want to go on throttle in this Jetta GLI. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. Open it up. You're going to be greeted to a very generous 15 cubic feet of space. The seats do fold down, 60-40 split. You got the nice easy access handles. And then here's the test. Is there a spare? Oh yeah, there's a spare there. So nice to see the spare with your subwoofer from your Beats sound system. But let's get inside where it's not so windy and we can go on throttle together in this Jetta GLI. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Jetta GLI. I do have it in sport mode. I'm gonna let the DSG shift for itself. Now, right away, you're gonna love the way the materials are in here. The seats are comfortable. They're sporty looking, and I'm glad that it does not have ginormous screens like the K4, but let's see how the driving experience goes in this GLI. On throttle, here we go. Nice smooth shifts from that DSG, that dual clutch transmission. You are getting a bit of wind noise making it past the seals around the side window glass. But other than that, you know, the sound that you're hearing, it is getting pumped in through the Beats sound system. It would be nice if it was a little bit more the real stuff coming out of the back, but compared to a K4, this does have the better driving experience. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of this automatic DSG, and I'm gonna use the paddles to shift with. You do have a small gear indicator in the lower left. You got those paddles behind the wheel. Second gear, on throttle, here we go. Very quick shifts. Of course, we have that limited slip diff up front, helping us get power to the ground. What this car needs is just a little bit more wider tire and a little stickier tire. But other than that, I mean, it rides really well over bumps, and it's very, very balanced. I mean, look at this. Love it. Pulls all the way up to 6,500 RPM. Upshifts are smooth, downshifts are smooth, and it's just hooked up. I mean, this thing is just hooked up. You know what they say, a squealing tire is a happy tire. But the seats are very supportive. They could use a little bit more bolstering, especially on the bottom. But other than that, I mean, it's really, really nice and enjoyable to drive. Getting to the new 8-inch infotainment system is well within reach. The 10.25-inch dash is clear and easy to read. You don't need, like I said, like in the K4, these ginormous screens. We're gonna go ahead and make a U-turn real quick, which is also, I mean, a piece of cake in this Jetta. A little bit of chirp. I do have the traction control off. But like I said, the balance in the steering, you could really feel how the rear of the car and the front of the car are communicating with one another. But it's over the bumps that adaptive suspension does such a great job to not shake your internal organs out of your body. And it just holds a line very nicely. Look at this. Here comes the fun part. When we get to have a little bit of right-left transition. Nice. Super smooth. It's a car you can have fun with, and you know what? I feel more confident behind the wheel of this than I do a K4 GT line. That's the bottom line. You know, it's like, we could talk about technology being a little bit more dated in this car. We could talk about the interior being a little bit more dated in this car compared to the K4. But where it makes up for everything is in the driving experience. And shouldn't that be the most important thing? You would think, but it's not always the most important thing. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick, overall review of what this Jetta GLI is bringing to the table. We're gonna get back and wrap this one up. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways. Definitely gotta thank everybody at Volkswagen for allowing us access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. Are you going with the Jetta GLI over the K4 GT line? Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Gotta get up to Stephen Flood. He really had to tighten down his hat to his head because this wind almost blew him away. But thank you, Stephen, for being solid like a rock. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.